All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Unstoppable Branding Experience. This is really officially week one, the official week one of the branding experience, because last week we did really a lot of prep work, a lot of foundational work, opening up our minds, starting to really think about what we want to be represented as to our marketplace and to our customers, right? We talked a lot about opening our minds, really getting clear about where we are in this process, and enjoying all of the process as it goes along. And we are going to be now focusing on our week one work that we did last week. But before we get started, there are some people that weren't here last week. So I'm going to kind of catch everyone up really quickly on some of the areas that we're going to be focusing on. So you guys are totally aware of what goes on here. Let me, where's that? Okay. So you guys can see as of here, the members area, make sure that you guys all know how to get into the members area. So why don't I do this with a hands up, just to make sure we'll practice doing the high fives here with that little hand on the left-hand side. Okay, cool. You guys know, all of you guys have been in the members area and know how to get there, right? Yeah, hands, can you guys give me a hands up? All right, most of you. All of you. Okay, fantastic. All right, so some of you, I know there's a couple of you guys that were late from coming this last week, but remember, this is our official start. Last week was just kind of a prep call, getting your mindset, getting us kind of to know each other. We are covering the spectrum here in this workshop, and we always do. We have network marketers, internet marketers, MLMs from across the industry, and everyone here is coming for a common purpose, right? The purpose is you want to get ultra clear and super ultra defined as to how you are going to be represented in the marketplace. Really get clear in your brand, right? And when I say brand, of course, I don't always mean just a logo, right? I mean really getting clear on how you are going to communicate with your customer base, finding your specific customer and how to talk to them. And that's what we're going to be establishing here in this class is, who is your targeted market and how do I connect with my people? I always love the idea of finding, everyone talks, oh goodness, everyone's my customer. Well, that could be possibly true, guys, but really think about it. Is everyone really your customer? Or could you, hold on, I'm trying to make this thing, there we go. I had to get this thing working here. Or are you really looking to define who that person is that you want to target? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to find what makes you completely unique, talking about sharing your unique voice, and what is it that makes you so unique that you start bringing and attracting people directly to you. This is what we're looking to do. This is why you guys are going to be doing something completely different than anyone else is, because now you are going to be focusing and targeting on what makes you unique and how you can share it with the world and connect them more to you. And this class tonight, we're going to be discussing this week one here in the members area. I noticed there's some people that are texting me on Facebook. Why don't we do this? Because it's really tough for me to communicate that way. Is make sure if you do have any specific questions that you can type them in the question box in the control panel if you see it where that's at below. And I will, of course, be able to open the doors up, because I have some rules in this workshop. If you guys are brand new, my rules are this. This is a workshop, not a listen shop. All right, so we're going to be working together, getting really clear together. This session is live and this session is for you. It's not always about me lecturing. It's about you coming with the work you did this week and really sharing it and how it came out for you, and maybe some of the challenges or the wins that you might have had, and how we can really start helping you hone in on targeting that customer base that you want to really focus on. So week one here, you all should have gone through the week one notes in the section, the video from week one. And if you guys are just coming in today, that's okay, because everyone's kind of catching up. And this is what typically happens in the first two sessions, is that you just kind of get your ground set. You're kind of learning it, you're figuring it out. So I always give you guys a little space and time. That's why I actually have these sessions weekly, right? They're not every day, because you really can't catch up. You guys got a lot of stuff going on. You got a lot of life happening and a lot of business happening at the same time. So I want to keep you guys really straight and focused. And we do it all very digestible, right? So you're going to really get only really small pieces that you're going to hit each week, but you're going to get really clear on them. So this week, we really went over, or we'll be covering today, talking about what is it that you really see your brand as being. What is your vision right now? Because typically it always changes. Because when we begin to do our story videos, which let me ask you guys now, how many of you guys that are here tonight already completed your story video that we talked about starting this last week? Did anyone officially do your story video? I know Deanna Palco did. She posted one up. George did. Cool. I don't see, let's see, Suzanne, awesome. Okay, cool. So we've got some of you that have. And remember, you're so cute, Deanna. She's been waiting to do this for forever, but it's okay. And Keith, that's great. The fact that you got in front of the camera, guys, is what we want to do. And you're going to start getting better at that. And that's why I give you a little bit of space. These first weeks are really massaging. So you're going to make up this week with your story video and the stuff that we're going to work on for next week. You're going to be able to nail that stuff out this week because now you're getting a little bit of a rhythm. And if you're brand new, you're just going to take some focus on getting that story video done. So we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to share with you guys about what really the power of your story is. It's about really taking your true voice, your unique voice, your story of why you're doing what you're doing, right? Why you chose the business that you chose, and not because of the business structure. It has nothing to do with the business. Remember, people follow people. People want to get started with your business, or they want to buy something from you because of your story, your transformation, why you did what you did. And that's why we always start here, because when we're discovering what our brand is, right, and how to share it with the world, we have to truly get super clear first on our story. Because when we're able to share our story, our vulnerability, everything about us and why we chose in and connect with someone, people then start to want to know more about you. All right. So week one here, and this is, if you guys aren't totally familiar with the back office yet here, of course, everyone needs to connect to the Facebook page, because that's where you're going to be posting your videos. So those of you that did do a video, you're going to be posting your videos up on that Facebook fan page so that everyone can take a look at it, check on it, and give you guys some feedback. That's really the most important piece, is the feedback you get from the class and from the group. And the Facebook page, I don't keep you guys, it's not like a crazy constant interactive. It's a place to go check about your branding, post up your branding stuff. I bring new things every day or every other day of just how to help you get really crystal clear in marketing and how to focus. And that's where you'll be sharing and interacting with each other. Okay. That's specifically a business page for you guys to use while you're in this workshop. And it also allows you to connect with a lot of different people. Okay, so that's the Facebook page there, and you'll be always focusing on each of the weeks, right, up at the above, right here, week 1, 2, 3, and 4. It always has the notes, so if you ever miss a recording, which some of you guys are only in the recorded session that you're listening to. Some of you are unable to make it live, but you're here for the recording, and that's awesome, because you'll be able to go back to the recordings, get this work done, and listen to the recordings of the work that I do with others. So what we're going to go through here is some of the session notes from week 1. And it's really about you starting to get some things in paper, starting to understand, what are the values that I want to be involved with around my brand? That's why I have number 3 here is, what are the values you want to share? Because the clearer you get on the values that you have, the closer and the more connected you're going to get with your customer. And the more focused your videos will be to that same customer as well. Because your group is really going to be targeted to you. For instance, my family's brand is the Unstoppable Family, right? We target families, right, that want to have a nucleus as a family. That's our values, our family. But also our values are traveling, right? We want to live free, create freedom. But it's people that really are way big thinkers, way out of the box thinkers like we are. We don't just look for stay-at-home moms, right? We look for people that are totally adventurous and want to live their life and fulfill their dreams. Doesn't mean they travel, but that's really the mindset of the group that we focus on. So we target people that read the same type of books, like 4-Hour Workweek with Tim Ferriss. We target people that have like Think and Grow Rich. We target different targets that are really focused on the type of mindset that we have. So for you, you're going to start really digging deep as to what are the things that make you unique, what are the things that you really like, and now how do we start talking to that person through video? Okay. And that's really where the powerful piece starts to come from, when you start to really create and craft out what your brand really is. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started here. It really comes down to, your uniqueness. And that's really the part that we want to really get clear, because your story and your uniqueness is the part that people are going to connect with the most. All right. So this is where I'm going to go here. I'm going to start kind of open up my slides a little bit, make sure. The page name. Oh, you will, Gemma, you have all of the information on the page that I sent that email to you. That is our Unstoppable workshop. And if you're looking for the fan page, just log in and click here. It'll take you on over. But if you are searching for it, it's Unstoppable Branding. That is the page that the fan page that we run on. There we go. We're locking up here. Is Unstoppable Branding, and you can search it for, as you see right up here, and you'll see Unstoppable Branding's here. And this is a place where you guys will really be able to interact. All right. Okay, so let's let me flip on over to some slides here. See my, if are you guys able to see me as well while I am my slides are on? Can you guys, yeah, okay, cool. So to make sure, because the way that this new system works, that my video says you're looking at me, but I can't see my face. So I want to make sure you guys can see the slides in the video. All right, cool. Okay, so I chose this image for a reason, right? This image is chosen because it's really about you. It's like, be weird, be random, and be totally who you are. Because in business, no matter what business opportunity, products you're representing, when you are so you and you are crystal clear about who you are, then people love that. People adore those that are really clear. And that's what branding is about, is totally being your unique self. Shooting a video the way you shoot it, right? I'm always like, right? Because that's who I am. Or you might be really serious. And when you're totally your uniqueness, this image just demonstrates it perfectly. It allows you guys to really be you. It gives you permission to be you. And that's why you're here, is so you can totally stand out in the crowd and take that sea of online marketers or people that are doing the same thing as you are, and you stand out. And that's the difference when I see with the people that I work with in this workshop, is when you start shooting a video and you start really getting clear and you shoot your story video, you share it, you put it on your blog, or you just post it up. You get, people start to really relate to you. And when they relate to your story, they then start to connect with you, and then they follow you. And then they start to ask questions about maybe what is it that you do, or you are talking directly as to why you chose the program that you did. And people want that. They want reality, they want uniqueness, and they want you. And that's why we start with just our story video, really truly getting clear about what our story is. Because I tell you what, people, they connect with you. Hey, Bianca, awesome. Good to see you here. People truly, truly, truly connect with you. Okay. They don't connect with the product. So what I want to do right now is I want to talk with those of you guys that did shoot your story video. And remember, everything happens in a sequence. And if I'm working with someone today that did something that you have not, you will learn from that. And then when you start shooting your story video, it'll be so much more easy because you're learning now, and vice versa, right? So whenever someone's working together with me here in the live sessions, you guys really will get so much out of it if you haven't even done the work yet. And if you have done the work, you get even more. So that's why I like this workshop to run, is that everyone kind of pops at a different time. It's like a popcorn. You're like, I get it. Okay, now I'm getting it. And even if you think that you're totally behind, remember, like Deanna, she and Pat are here. They couldn't make it to the last workshop, the whole sessions, but they decided to come back. And this is how I run this workshop. This workshop is, once you're a student, you're always a student. So you can always come back and jump in on the sessions and bring some ideas or questions that you might have, what's happening for you right now in your marketing or in your business, and jump into these sessions. And that's, once a student, always a student. So you guys will always be able to come back. So what I want to do right now is I want to have, for some of those of you guys that did shoot a story video, I want to hear, or even not just a story video, maybe you just started in going through last week's recording, or listened to last week's and started week one, and maybe where were some video challenges or maybe an aha moment that you might have had. And then I'm going to go deeper into really some of the the slides I've got tonight to help kind of get your mind in that focus. But right now, I want to kind of just hear from those of you guys that started. So who wants to be the first to jump on out here? I know that Deanna, you said that you were going to be maybe in and out a little bit busy. If you could jump out, that'd be great. If you're able to now, because she just, okay, cool. Deanna just shot her story video and I watched it. It's awesome. I've got a lot of great feedback for you. And I want to have you make sure that you post it up on the branding page too, Deanna, so everyone here can watch it. So tell me, what were some kind of breakthroughs and moments that you had, or maybe video challenges, or how did it feel to start getting that story out there? Because I know you were having some issues with getting it up.
Yeah, it's really funny because I just realized that I was totally overthinking it and I was just trying to have all the perfect things to say and make sure I was doing everything in the right order. And I just decided, like, I seriously sat there forever for like weeks and was trying to figure out what I was going to say, and I would overanalyze it, and I just totally forgot about it. I was like, I'm not even going to, try to have the perfect story, because I know what my story is in my head. Like, if I was just meeting somebody and talking to them and they said, tell me about you, I could tell them about me. So I decided that's what I was going to do with the camera. I literally just sat down in the middle of the night the other night. I was like, if it's now or never. I'm sick of procrastinating. I'm just going to do this. I pulled the camera out and I just started talking like I had nothing written down, nothing. It just like came straight from my heart, and I just did it. And I was so happy once I finally did it, because it was like, why was I waiting so long? Why was I overthinking it? I think I just tried to compare. I was in my mind comparing myself to other people, or what am I going to, should I share all of this or should I share that? And I was like, I'm just going to be me. Like, there's nothing else I can do.
Well,
So,
yeah, and
it was great.
that's really, once we do it. This is, I'm so glad you said that, because guys, listen, Deanna is literally, she's not lying when she said she kept putting up old videos she's done, kept doing. I'm like, nope, come on, Deanna, you got to get your new one done. And she's like, okay, okay, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. But that's what happens is we start the very first time. This is why I start. Hi, Brian. Everyone, say hi to everyone. Hi. Am I on camera as well? Yeah, you're on camera too. We're in our hotel room. Is you, in the beginning, you feel like you have to do it right. And what comes down to, this is why I start here. And your brand and everything that comes out is backwards. Everyone's like, I want to kind of I want to get to the crux of it. You have to start here. And the reason why we start with our videos of our story is because you know it. And you just said that, Deanna. So, all right. So tell me a little bit about you. You didn't plan, so you went through it. And this is, I'm going to give you some feedback. Are you open to some feedback tonight, Deanna?
Absolutely. I would
Okay.
love feedback.
Okay. Fantastic, because everyone's going to learn from this feedback. All right. So now your video was how many minutes? About 14 minutes.
Yeah, it was probably too long.
All right. It's going to kill you that I say this, but it's okay because you're going to get so good at
Yeah.
it. All right. You
Uh-huh.
want your video to be under 5. If you can get it to 3, great. But right now, let's focus on 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to show you how you're going to be able to get all that good, juicy stuff in, and how to really connect. Because this is how we do it. The very first video, you did it perfectly. The very first video is get it out there. Start from moment one, a little bit about you, right? And I'm not even getting into content structuring. We're going to go through content structuring in 2 weeks. Right now, it's just about you getting it in front. Okay. So you started out with your vulnerability. Okay, so first off, guys, one of the most important pieces in any video is you want to obviously introduce yourself, right? But it's showing vulnerability, okay? And that means just be that you're real, showing that you're real. And Deanna, you did that great. You talked a bit about your faith. You could have tightened that part up, because I know that's vitally important to you, but we could have tightened that part up so that you can start really getting into why you did what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. And you showed your vulnerability. So everyone has to make sure that they show and they share that you're real, okay? That you've gone through something that they might relate to. All right. So, but this first one is just about getting it out. But this is how we do it. Once you get it out there, Deanna, now you're going to go back and you're going to do this. I call this creating your circles in your timeline of your story. Okay. So all of you guys, I want you guys all to take out a piece of paper, and I want you to your timeline of your story, let's see what I can erase all this, is you want to, my eraser here, why is my thing erasing? Here we go, okay. Is, all right, so this is what we want to do, guys. Your story, once you do your story, just like Deanna did, okay, it's like a big line, all right? Just look at your story like a big timeline, okay? You did your story from start to finish, and really your start point typically wants to be really what's going to engage your reader the most or your listener the most. And that's probably going to be not necessarily your childhood, right? But it can be a little bit about where you came from, but it's really why you chose what you're doing, okay? And maybe it's, you want to be home with a child, right? Deanna, you did such a great job sharing a bit about, you were in high school, you had this baby right out of high school, and you decided to go back to school, and all these challenges that you started to have. And this is why I chose what I'm doing now. And that's where we really want to start. That's our main part, is that what's that main problem you solved for yourself that you also could be solving for someone else? Is that making sense so far? Yeah, Deanna, is that making sense for you?
Sorry, Rhonda. I was having trouble. I was having trouble hearing you. It was like kind of breaking up there for a minute, but
Okay, is that the same for
I think I
others?
can hear you now.
Are you guys all, can you guys still hear me? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, everyone's, okay, good. Okay, no problem. So you want to start with really where you started from. So this is how all of you guys, if you guys didn't do a story video yet, that's okay. Right? Is you want to really get this piece out here. You want to start with your video. So you start with why I started. Now, once you just regurgitate, you got this 15 minutes video, right, that Deanna did, is now, Deanna, you're going to go back and you're going to listen to it. Okay. And when you go back and listen to your own videos, guys, something powerful happens. You start to hear the solutions that you're solving. Oh, that's weird. Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys. Well, it's telling me that there's something is going on with my, let me check here. It says something's going on with my connection, which is so odd because I'm sitting here
I
inside
think
the,
your internet's slow.
is that what's happening? You guys, it told me to turn off my mic, my cam. Let me turn off my cam. There we go. Okay. I'm going to turn off my cam. And let's see, guys, is this coming out better? Keith, since you're unmuted, am I coming through clear?
Yeah, that's better right now.
Okay, cool. And that's what happens sometimes with the mic, with the cameras. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to get your story video out, and you want to hit those vulnerability pieces. Every single person, it doesn't matter what product or industry you're marketing, your story video is your most powerful asset when it comes to connecting and offering to people what you've got online. They want to know who you are. So you start there and you get those vulnerability pieces out. Now, once this video's, let's say it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 15, you go back and you listen to yourself. And then what you do is, like I call this, is creating your circles. Okay. So now you're like, ooh, that was a good one. This one was for you, Deanna. It could be, this was my faith piece, right? So you're like, okay, this is the pace that I want to make sure that I keep in, right? That's kind of that's your values. So you want to make sure that stays. This is always so hard for me to write because I'm not using a mouse. And then you go, okay, so now I hit this piece. And then you might have some stuff in the middle. You're like, I could have probably cut that out. So I want to make sure I hit the faith. Then you're like, okay, then this is like why I made the decision that I made, right? Maybe it's, being home with your child and creating a more foundational life with your child. So you go through this whole story that you've got and you create these circles, okay? And you give them all names, right? This is, I have to hit this. This is a high point. I have to hit this one, right? So you make sure that this one is really focused on right here. And then we continue to go throughout your whole story. And then you'll probably end with that 10 or 15-minute story you did with probably a good, maybe 5 to 6 different circles that are really vitally important, okay? And then you do it again. You reshoot it with these high points. Now, the whole point of why we do this again, this is to get you guys starting to get used to using video, right? Starting to allow you to get used to just shooting it and sharing, your voice will start to get more clear as you do video. So every day you want to start getting in front of the camera. If you notice the video series that we're doing right now, every day we do a different video series and share something. And we're going to start doing video series in the next 2 weeks. But this story video is going to really be your foundation. This should be your main video on your blog or on your Facebook page, or if you have a fan page, if you have a website, right? This story should be shared there. And what you'll do if it's on, especially if it's on Facebook and you might be doing some promotion on Facebook, you want to make sure you have a website they can connect to, right? If you say, find out more about the solution that I use, or send them to a blog. Guys, this is how you're going to begin to start creating a list and a following that wants what you've got. And it starts with your story that they connect with. But if it's over 5 minutes, you're going to lose that audience. Okay? So what I want to do now is I want to make sure that you guys are really clear on this. I want to hear from some more of you guys that had some more of these moments or these aha moments, right? Or maybe some challenges doing your video. Of those of you that did start. George, do you want to jump on out of here, George? Did you do your video?
Yeah, I did mine. Am I there?
Yeah, come on out and tell me about how was the
I did mine in the park, so I don't know if I should do that there, but I was outside kind of walking. I saw your video the other day where you were walking around the pool or something.
Yep.
And I kind of did something like that. Well, with my story, I had my notes I had my notes there, and then I looked at them, so it's kind of choppy. But I did. It took me 3 or 4 or 5 times just to get what I have.
Well,
and it was 6 minutes. The first one was long.
No, that's not too bad, though. That's pretty good for your first one.
Well, I didn't have a call to action or anything else. I kind of said, what did I say? Some tagline at the end, and then I ended it. But I did get in front of the camera, and I got that I got that out of the way. That old blue. I don't know if you ever did Ray Higgins. Well, I shouldn't get in other, but
no, of course, Ray's a really good friend of mine.
How he had a nail in him, and oh, cool. Well, I had that fear one. I kept listening over and over, and this is something that I had a thorn in my side or whatever. I had to get it out. Man, it feels so good just to upload it and say, here's my first video.
Yeah, right. Wow, that's a huge, massive win.
I mean,
congratulations. That's huge.
I know. So, it was like, wow.
Well, this is what I want you to do, though, George.
So I was in my tennis outfit.
Okay, yeah, cool. Keep going, because we're delayed a little bit.
Okay, I was in my tennis outfit, so I had that on. I don't know. That might be where I'm going anyway, so I'll be outside a lot.
Okay, so George, this is the best part. All right, this is great. You said a couple things I want to address for everyone that I usually will go into in video content series, but let's address it right now, because this is what I love about these live workshops. When something comes up, we address it immediately. Okay, this is great. One thing is, yes, outside walking is some of the best videos ever, because people get bored when you're sitting in front of your computer. I mean, how many videos have you guys ever watched where you're like, this is really boring, right? This is like a guy's face in front of their computer. Arm videos, holding your arm out, powerful, works. People love it. I do all my videos holding my arm out with my iPhone typically, because the iPhones are so great. So the action videos are some of the best. Okay, outdoors, people will be engaged that way. All right, so outdoors, walking, you'll get really good at doing videos walking. We do our video series, and typically I always make sure I'm walking or doing something, because background is engaging. People love to connect with those that have a good background, right? They just feel good about it. So yeah, so that's one, George. Action videos, yes. Second is let's see, what was the other? You said, should I do it outside? Yeah, and where you're starting to target. This is good. As your story comes out, you're tenant, so you're going to be really focusing on that type of mindset of person. And we're going to start talking about that tonight. Before we get through tonight, is really how are you going to start targeting what is your uniqueness and who's that person you're going to target. So yes, you want to make sure that you're doing your video and you're bringing it to the audience, or starting to think about that audience that you would be the most connected to. And how do we do that? we look at ourselves, right? We start finding out who is our best targeted market because we look at ourselves. We typically are going to relate and connect with them just like us. And so that's how we start to really focus on every video that we do. We want to be talking to someone. You want to visualize that person you're talking to and talk to them. Okay, and right now your story videos is a little bit kind of the start point, so we want to allow you to be a little bit more open, a little bit more loosey, just getting it out there. But you'll start getting, when we do video content structuring in week 3, you're going to be really defined. Okay, so yes, outdoors is amazing. It's a great way to start connecting. And then you mentioned something about a call to action. I don't necessarily want to focus on call to action right yet, George, but this is the thing, because you're asking everyone. I use what's called a 3-to-1 ratio, okay, when it comes to call to action. So that means you use 3 soft and 1 hard call to action. So your story video really is your 3. That is you want to share 3 good shares to 1 more like a sales video. And your story video is 3, okay? And your story video is, I'd like to invite you on over to my blog, right? So it's more of like your call to action will be at the end of your story video. You're like, well, what I want to do is I want to invite you on over to my blog to really learn even more about me, right? So that's just your softs. You want to invite them to your blog. So that really can always start to become your call to action at the end of every video. You want to start really focusing on just your soft call to action right now, which is inviting people over to a blog or to a fan page or to a place that you want to start connecting with people. Does that make sense, George?
It sure does, yes.
Okay, good.
I mentioned,
yeah.
I can't remember. I got to go back through it because I shot it. It took me a while, longer than I thought. I just uploaded it. And
it does. Listen, my husband sometimes takes 30 shots in the past, right? When he was first starting, he never had done video. So don't feel bad. Give yourself, like, you're a super rock starring it out, only took you 5 or 6 cuts, and you did it in 6 minutes. You're going to get really good. And that's why I give you guys a week in between, because you might want to do your story video every day. You might want to do the same one 3-4 times in the day to get really good at it. Carve out an hour to help you get really, really clear. Right? Yes, Gemma.
That sounds good.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, George. I'll address Gemma in a moment.
That's what I thought. I mean, that's what I was going to ask, if we should keep redoing these. Should we keep doing them and uploading them? Or
okay, this is great, right? First off, that one, you want to put that one either up on the branding page now or redo that one. And again, you're going to go through it. You're going to listen to it, right? This is your process. You could probably do that 3 times to get your story video. By the time you're done with this workshop, your story video is going to be so crystal clear. I mean, you're going to knock it out under 3 minutes, and you're going to really start to use that as a drawing piece for your customers and for your targets on your blogs or on your website. So if you need to go back and watch it, George, and do these circles here, do that. Mm-hmm. If you want to redo it and get more targeted, do it, and then do this piece again.
Okay, I think I'll throw it up and just see what happens. I'll put it in the unstoppable area.
Throw it to the beast.
Okay. Yes, exactly.
Okay, good. But I do want you to you go through it, listen, watch it again, and then post a new one up again so you can get really super clear on there. Okay, so Gemma, I want Gemma to come out here because I want you, let's see. All right. So Gemma, your question was, and you can unmute yourself if you're able to talk, is if we don't have a blog, then can we go to our fan page? Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And let me ask you then, Gemma, do you have on your fan page, does it have a space or a tab that they can find your It Works product?
Yes, one on a tab, but I have albums, and then I have my website. The first thing under the About, the short description, so right under my profile picture, it has my web link.
Okay. Do you have any tabs like this? Do you see those?
Where are we looking? Oh, you mean, okay, I have some notes on some things, but no, I have not added anything like that yet. So that's definitely something I'm going to want to do.
Yeah, because this is why.
I'm guessing.
So what you'll do, Gemma, for you, since you are just using a fan page right now and you don't have any of these up, is when you put your story video up, you will want to post it up here, and you're going to want to pin it. Okay, because you
Yes.
you're not using a blog yet, and everyone here has access to the custom blogs like I have, and we get them at a really, really, low price if you guys want to get them from me. But it's not totally necessary with all opportunities, right? So for you, Gemma, this is what you'll do. You're going to shoot your video, you're going to post it up, and by next week, I'm going to give you guys, we're going to really go through how to really headline it and tagline it, make sure that it's really identifiable. But you will pin it up. And do you know how to pin on a fan page?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. So this is how you let your fan page work for you. So in your video, you're going to do your story, and then you're going to say, you know what? I'd like to invite you on over to my fan page. Click here to go see my fan page, right? If you're using it on YouTube, which I think everyone probably upload all their videos to YouTube to make sure that you are bringing them to they can see that on your real estate and YouTube. And then when you post your video on your personal page, you invite them to your fan page. Does that make sense?
Yes, and it's on my list. I have to get a YouTube account. I still don't even have that.
Okay, well, that's something you'll absolutely want to do, because in order to really post well, you want to upload it to YouTube. You take that link and you drop it in right here on your post. It goes in here, right? So for instance, I upload a lot of my videos directly to Facebook, but then I always add them to YouTube, and I do that for two reasons.
Okay.
Is when you upload it directly to Facebook, this is how it will look, okay? And when you upload it directly see, this is these videos. I want you guys always, anything that I do, I want you to follow and mirror, because you guys can steal and take anything I do, but this is how you really start to get really good connected followings, is if you upload a video directly to YouTube, it'll look like this. It's really it's connected. It's not a link. It doesn't take them off. So if, for instance, a story video, if you're sharing it, you can upload it to YouTube and pop the link on, but you're sharing it to our fan page. You have to do it that way. But if you're putting it on your personal page, I want you to upload it directly into YouTube or up to Facebook. Do you guys know how to do that? Does everyone know how to do that? Load your video directly to Facebook. All right, I'll show you how to pin, Keith, for sure. Is you'll just literally go to Facebook. You upload your video to your computer from your camera, or go from iPhone directly to Facebook, and you just click on share a video or a photo. So you show video, photo, and then you find the link right here. You find the file that's on your computer, or I do it directly from my iPhone a lot of times, and you go right here, okay? You upload it directly, and then what I like about when you do it directly to your personal page, and that's what you guys will all do that for yourself, is it gives you a headline here. You get to put the headline, what it is, and then you're able to actually also share then a page link. Let's say if you want to bring them somewhere. So what you would do then, Gemma, for instance, for you, is you would then bring them to your fan page, right? Because you don't have a blog yet. So you're going to say, go on over to my fan page. So they're going to see the video. So they're going to get your content no matter what, but then you're going to invite them over to your fan page.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. So now what you're doing is you're giving them your content, you're giving them your story, and you're like, you know what? I want to invite you. Because inviting, guys, my philosophy about blogging or Facebook fan pages, your fan page can really double as a blog. It really can. And you can, when you invite someone, and last week I talked about this, your blog or your fan page is like your home. When someone kind of is invited somewhere, they're invited, they like it, they feel good, they're neutral. So they're not being sold. But when they get to your house, like let's say you invited them to a party, they kind of hang out, have a drink, and they look around. And they ask questions because that's what you do. So if you invited someone, like for instance, when I invite people you guys watch my videos. When I invite people to my blog, they get here and they're like, oh, how fun. You know, they see my story video up here. They watch they look at my posts. But then what happens, and this is the best part, this is what we want them to do. I hear a little bit of feedback, might just be some background noise, just want to make sure we're super clear, then they go, oh, what's this? And they go, what's this they've got? I want to hit on that. How do we afford traveling the world? Well, I certainly want to go there. How do they work from no home? Well, that looks great. So instead of them coming feeling sold, they come totally neutral and feeling good about clicking on something. Is that making sense to you guys? Can I get some feedback on this? I want to make sure you guys get this piece. This is the whole part about being such a great attraction marketer, sharing video, bringing them to a space on a neutral ground, inviting. Is that making sense, you guys? Hands up. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, good. Any feedback or questions coming from you guys? Okay, not making sense to Bianca. Okay, hold on, let me make sure. Does that mean, all right, are those fresh yeses or nos? Because if that's the case, I want to bring you guys out. I want to make sure I get that. Bianca, do you want to come out and share with me? Were you saying no of what I just said, or was it from something different? I want to make sure I'm totally addressing you guys. B?
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi.
For me, it makes really sense to in order to share that the same way. It's just the techniques the first times I think it will be a bit harder to do, and then as soon as we get through the week doing every single day, I think will be easier for us.
Absolutely. That's exactly how it's going to come out for you. So in the beginning, sometimes, and I'll reiterate everything. We're going to follow this process, and I'll keep reiterating this to make sure you guys are following. But that's really one of the crux is when you share, you bring them either to a fan page or you bring them to your blog, and then they feel so good about being there because they were invited. So your story video right now is really going to be neutral. You all just sharing you and going, gosh, I want to invite you to my fan page, or I want to invite you to my blog to really find more about me and what I do, or find more about the solution that I have found that has allowed me to be home with my daughter every day. Like that's a call to action that I do, but that's my 3, that number that I was sharing earlier. That's that 3 ratio, that invite ratio. We're not going to talk about any marketing videos yet, just story. So you want to share your story and invite them somewhere to find more about you. Gemma, are you good with that now too? Is that sounding more clear for you? Okay, awesome. Good. And then Suzanne, I want to make sure, Suzanne, were you? Okay, cool. Yay. Yeah, good, Pat. Awesome. Okay, good. Okay, good. Awesome. Good. All right, George, do you upload to your fan page or personal page or both? Great. Okay, that's awesome. You guys are like rocking it. Okay. What you do is when your story videos, you're going to personally upload it to Facebook. Okay. I wish I could show my face to you guys. I apologize. I can't. You'll personally upload it to Facebook, and then you'll upload it to YouTube. And I know that's double, but that's your real estate, guys. So you want your real estate on YouTube. I have thousands of videos probably on YouTube. People will find them all over, but you want to make sure that you personally upload it personally to your personal page, then you share it. Okay. So you invite them on over to your fan page or your blog. But if you have, for instance, if you guys actually have a fan page, how many of you guys have a fan page? Clear your hands down so I know, because this is this is really fun. Okay, cool. How many of you guys have a fan page? Now all your hands are down. Okay, 1, 2, okay. All right, good. All right, if you have a fan page, I'm going to give you the sequence that I do. And this is like powerful stuff, right? What I do, so I have my Unstoppable Family is my main fan page, okay? Branding is just for you guys. So what I do, and what you will want to do, because that was a great question, buddy. If you have a fan page, you want more traffic to that fan page, you can upload your videos. See, I always upload my videos here directly to my fan page. And then what I do is I become myself, right? So I have to become Rhonda again, because to share for fan pages on over to personal pages, you got to be you again. Okay, so then I become Rhonda again. And then I will, so you're uploading your video to your fan page, if you have one. Then I go to my fan page. So I have to become me, because it says you're acting as Rhonda. I want to act as Rhonda because I want it to be on my personal page. So now, then I share it. So every page that you have, you want it to be on. And I'm not going to get too technical right now because we really want to focus on our stories. But this is for some of you guys that have some of those other, that you're already a little bit more advanced in Facebook, is then you share it to your personal page. Okay. So now this is why. What's going to happen is, let's go back to I share that to my personal page from my fan page. And then what happens is really fun, is that you see here, you then get, see, Rhonda shared Unstoppable Families video. So now this video here, they're like, oh, so now I've got a double to get them back to my fan page. Okay. So if you want to bring more traffic to the fan page, that's how you do it. Does that make sense, you guys? Because then, does that answer your question also, George? Because you want it to be everywhere. But if you upload it to your fan page, share it to your personal page, now you've got that share feature. Like Unstoppable Family shared that. So now people are like, what's Unstoppable Family on my personal page? Right? So that way now you're starting to get double branding. All right. Cool. Perfect. You do that with pictures. Great. That's exactly what you want to do. Yes, Deanna, when you start to really, when we nail down what your brand and your blog name will be, and that'll be like within 2 weeks, you will make a fan page, because that's how you really will get connected. Everything will start to connect. Your blog will connect, your fan page will connect, and your personal page then will start sharing together. Pat said, can you refer us to basic core? Yeah. Yeah, and Pat, right now we will, don't worry about fan pages. This was just to answer Gemma's question, so she really can get connected to her fan page. All right, then Deanna said, you have one for Mary Kay, but not for your, yeah, if you have different opportunities, then you can have different fan pages that you can work within as well. All right, so let's get back to our stories, because we diverted a little bit, but that's good for some of you guys. But it's always good for brand new people to hear this conversation too, because now this story video that's really starting to craft our brand and who you guys are is actually going to start all those little things. You go, oh, okay, cool. So now I'm going to upload this here. I'm going to upload this here. That'll start coming to you. And we'll go through the marketing and how to share it on Facebook. I will go through that in a special class, but I want to make sure that you guys are really clear, because Gemma doesn't have a blog yet. And if you don't have a blog, your fan page can become it. Okay. All right. So let's go back to really sharing about our story and how to get it out there. And I believe, let's see, was it Steph? Yeah, Steph, let's have you come on out, because if we got to nail this piece. This is the part you guys got to nail. So come on out here, Steph. What's up? What's your question?
Hey, okay, great, thank you. As I mentioned to you last week, I have been, I guess, in the industry for a couple years.
Hey, Steph, can you do me a favor? I don't mean to interrupt you. I can barely hear you.
Oh, sure. Is that any better?
Much better.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, I apologize for that. Real quickly, as I mentioned last week, I have been in the network marketing arena for a couple years, and the challenge that I have with putting my story together, quite honestly, is when I first started my business, my why was extremely compelling in one arena. And since I've been in network marketing for the last couple years, and I've learned some stuff along the way, my why has changed and evolved, but both are still very compelling and important pieces, but they're not necessarily congruent with each other. So am I making any sense? I've got a couple different pieces that really pull me and that I want to get out, but I'm not sure how to tie that in really to a story that makes sense.
Okay, this is good. All right. Okay, no, I get it. Express to me a little bit more about what the two separate whys are. Because what happens, guys, and if I had my video on, I look at things, so you look at your brand and your story video. Hey, while I'm talking, Steph, would you mute yourself out because we got some feedback? Sometimes it happens with the mic too loud. I think that happened last time.
Yes.
So when you talk, bring it up. When I talk, bring it down. Awesome. So okay, so this is what it looks like. Your main branded story video is going to be like your umbrella, and then there are going to be some bigger differences, right? One is for us is giving, the other one's family, travel. So our main story is why we did what we did. But I want you to share with me what you mean by the two so we can maybe see how we can either tie them together or see how we can separate them.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, can you hear me? Okay. So when I first started my business, I was in a very emotional place in my life. Both of my boys have been diagnosed with ADHD, and I had spent years as an incredible advocate for these kids, trying to find them help and solutions that were holistic and safe without medication. And in doing that, I overcame so many challenges, and I was so determined, but I completely lost who I was as a woman. Steffi D, all of my awesomeness was gone, and I felt so lost and drained and just like I wanted to cry my eyes out. And I came to this business because I was looking for a way to find me. I needed to find myself again. And I actually did that very quickly. I made a number of accomplishments and achievements and, earning a trip and very quickly achieved my reason for starting. So over the next couple of years, I didn't have a really compelling pull to keep me motivated and moving forward. Now it's gotten to the point where I don't feel that way at all anymore. I am all good with who I am. I am ready to take on the world, but it's more because I want to help people create this lifestyle that I've created for myself and that I live for myself, but I haven't necessarily earned through this business. Okay, my husband has, by the luck of God here, my husband has a good job that provides me the ability to be home with the kids, the ability to have a lifestyle, but I know that this business is what so many people are looking for. So it's moved more towards lifestyle, money, that kind of importance, and they're not necessarily two things I see that go together. What are your thoughts?
Sorry, I was muted. Okay. This is really, really good. Just turn the mic down just a little bit. So that way
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Okay. How many of you guys, just from listening, because this is when this class gets really good, when this is the stuff that we start to dig into, is how many of you guys heard goodness, I just lost my train of thought where you're with your with your name, your first name. Goodness gracious, Steph. Sorry, I'm like okay. All right. So how many of you guys? Sorry about that. How many of you guys heard when Steph talked about finding herself? Okay. All right. So you guys heard she's looking to find her. See, guys, this is when we dig into when our story becomes amazing and powerful, because your vulnerability and your solution that you're talking to someone else is finding you, and finding you had something to do with your son, right? You lost yourself and you're looking to find yourself.
7 o'clock.
All right, thank you, computer. All right, so you were looking to find yourself, and your son was part of it, right? So that's part of your story, your build-up story, and then now you found network marketing because you wanted the lifestyle, and you started to now then define and find yourself. See, they go together, Steph, in a big way, because that's the why that started you here. And then now you have a solution and you've discovered you. So are you following where I'm going with this? Because they are so related. And so you want to talk to your customer, or let's say just to your story video, is you want to introduce yourself. Hey, this is, Steph, I want to share this video with you about really where I'm at and how things started for me. I have a son. You introduce, I have the son, and you talk what you just said. I have a son that I started giving all my time there, and I really lost myself. And I wanted to find a way that I could not only reinvent me or refine me, but then also still be able to be the primary influence or the connection to my son. And I've been able, so then you create a solution for that. See, you build up, you had a problem, and then you found a solution to solve that problem. And when you do that, guys, and you take that concept, because your customer had the same situation. So now you're either going to talk to, in a video series, let's say, to someone, a mother that may have the same circumstance as you, but that may not be your brand. Your brand may be the lifestyle people, but that whole buildup, that whole story that you had with finding your son and want to be part of your son can be part of maybe a marketing campaign or a marketing video series that you've got that connects that customer to now your ultimate solution. Does that make sense, Steph? Do you see how they tie together?
That makes sense. Yeah, it makes fantastic sense when you say that. Absolutely. In my head, I look at this like I look at it so differently than the way that you just described it. To hear you say that and it flows and there's a start, a middle, and a finish, and you tied it all together perfectly. In my head, I'm thinking this is like just the video series or the marketing campaign that you mentioned. I'm thinking to myself that this is like the end all be all. This is the way I have to brand myself moving forward, but it's not. You're showing me that it's not. It can be a piece.
That's right.
That's
yes.
Exciting.
Yes. Yay. Okay. This is the part that makes me so excited. If you guys could see my video, I'm like, my hands are up. Because it makes me so excited, because this is how I know it's so weird. And everyone's like, oh, you do it. It's so backwards to think that we can start figuring ourselves out by starting with our story, but that's how it comes out. So it's not the end all do all. This is this is your whole story. This is now you break it up. This is why when I did go here, guys, is when I bring out this fly sketch, this is why we do the story. And then you go, ooh, see, these circles are not only your high points, but they're also part of your content of your video series. So you might have just talked briefly in your story video about your son, but this circle becomes another whole big video series that you do, another whole major awesome video out here that you do, or 3 or 4 videos that you do about that process. Do you see how that starts to work, you guys? You guys getting this? I want to make sure I keep everyone really connected, because I don't want to lose you guys, because that's why you do their story first. We regurgitate it like Deanna did, and I love you for it, Deanna. You're so good at it. You did a great job. So you go 15 minutes, and then you go, ooh, how do I make it 5 minutes? And then you go, ooh, that was good. Okay, my child. Okay, that was good. My faith. That was good. This was good. Oh, right. And then you go, all right. So now my story video is all nice and tight. We got all those little points, and then you guys are you're advancing me into this class, but this is how you do it. Then it's like, okay, now video series number 1 is my son, me finding me, how I got there. Video series number 2 might be why I chose this profession, why I chose this product. Video series number 3 might be your values, right? See, this is how you started creating and having the most amazing content. But then you go, oh, now your brand becomes this person that not only has this incredible story that people want to see and hear and understand, but now you've got content you can start sharing. And some people, you'll see as I go through the slides before we close tonight, it's going to be, some people might be very product based. Some people are very, technology based, right? They're a techie. They want to be a trainer. But others, really, it's about you. Right? You have to offer. and your uniqueness. When you find out what makes you so unique, and you, Steph, your uniqueness is really that crux, which was I needed to find me. My son, I dove into my son, but man, I wanted to have something for me. And you know how many women have had that? Millions. Right? Millions. All right. All right, good, awesome, good. You guys are feeling it. Yeah, you guys are totally feeling it.
Yeah, I just wanted to quick say thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. This is why the live sessions are so great, because you gotta work through it. And sometimes we like talk it out, and it starts to get clear. And then what you just did, I know, and everyone's like, wow, people are going, yes, Pat's like, yes, Bianca, yes, good stuff. I mean, and Deanna, I mean, this is good stuff. This is how it starts to get clear, and when we work together. All right, awesome. Okay, anyone else want to join or share with me a bit, maybe or a question that you have about your story, or anyone that did the story? Let's start there. Anyone that did their story first that needs to jump out now, that wants to jump out now.
Hey, Keith wants to ask a question.
Hey, bud, what's up?
Hey, my thing is I tried to brainstorm stuff, and basically I couldn't figure out what makes me unique, and I couldn't figure out what important trait that I'd like to share with my customers. So basically, my ultimate story has been kind of like you guys. I want to not promote, basically any one particular thing, because I got my feet in so many different deals, but I love traveling. I've got my own travel agency business, and I do TV production, and I've toured with bands, and I've done record labels, and I've done all this fun stuff, but I'm just like, okay, what do I do? How do I don't know what makes me unique. I guess my story of all the things I've done in my past is unique, but there's.
All right, look, Keith, let me ask you this. What is
and I went through
the commonality, all right, of everything that you're saying? Let's think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You have your hands on all kinds of stuff. You love to enjoy life, freedom. Like what? There's a common ground that makes Keith Keith. Is it being free? Is it having the choice to lifestyle? Because all those things, your story can be, hey, this is Keith. This is where I came from, a little piece of where I came from. But you know what? I just want to have fun. I want life. And I'm speaking for you, so I don't want to speak for you. But there's a. It doesn't have to be so deep, right? Sometimes you're like, oh my God, I need to be deeper. No, sometimes it could just be, heck, I just want to freaking live, and I want to be. So what is the commonality, right? Because we've got Keith Pelmetier, who I work with. He is a big adventurous guy, and he loves to do motocrossing, all these fun adventurous stuff. But he's a big business owner. He's got all this stuff going on, and his stuff is living the single track life. And single track, if you guys know anything about biking or whatever, it's going on the single track. You take one single track and you get out. And that was his whole. It took him weeks to figure out what, or not weeks, hours, because we sat together. He came up and did a one-on-one with us, and he's like, it's all about just being able to get away and living that freedom lifestyle, that single track life. So that became his core. So is there a core?
Right. And that's basically, huh?
Oh, sorry, we were delayed a little bit. I was saying, what is the core for you then, for your story?
That's basically what my core is too. Is just I loved being single and myself, and be able to just pick up and run when I could. Now I'm married with a 2-year-old, so that just cemented my feet into the ground. So I would like to figure out a way to get back. I'd like to figure out a way to get back to where we could all just travel and have fun and do everything, and not have to worry about my jobs of constantly being gone every weekend, or that kind of thing. So my thing is basically almost mirrored to you guys' lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's just to be able to go do my thing and not have to. I've been basically a freelancer all my life, never had a behind the desk job in my entire life, which I'm proud to say, and I've never had to ask anybody permission to go on vacation. So that's always been a good thing. But I would like to be able to just say, hey, we're going to Tahiti tomorrow for 15 days, and no ifs, ands, or buts, and I don't have to worry about what it costs or anything like that, you know. So
Okay, so this is when we start figuring stuff out. You just really I got really clear as to what you want, and your problem that you're solving, you just answered it, right?
mm-hmm.
For the person that you're talking to. You're talking to a guy like you that wants to totally live free, be free, and not ever have to ask to go on vacation. That's why that's why you have found your solution. Because you have a problem. You have a problem, and you're solving it with your solution, which is your business. And so those are the people that you talk to. So your story comes from that. Hey, you know what? Keith, this is the deal. And you can do your foreshadowing is look, I was a single guy that loved flying around doing this. Now I have a child, I have a family. But you know what? I still want to be that way. I want to be able to be free and never ask to go on vacation. And I started searching. You can share that. I started searching for a way to do that. I think you talk about, the things that you do, the businesses you do. I have to leave right now on the weekends. I cover this. I do this. And you know what? I love that stuff. But you know what I really love is the freedom, never asking to go on a vacation. And, I've been able to find a solution how to do that. And you give them all the things that all the problems you were solving. Why you started that way, then you had the family, but now you want to be back that way with your family. See, that starts to become your customer base, right? You're talking to this guy that, like my husband, right? That was like, man, I was free, living free. And now I got this family, dang it, what am I going to do now? Well, you don't let it lock you down. You create a solution to still do it.
Right.
You seen that? How you can put that into a video?
Yeah, that makes it much more clear also, just as the other young lady said a minute ago.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you just got to get really focused on it. And then, dude, once you start to really, truly start just speaking your mind and just sometimes get it out there. That's why we start off, just get it out there. I tell you, you will be so shocked the amount of people that will go, oh my God, that's so me. Not everyone does video. That's one thing why we do video, guys, why branding becomes your video and how you connect with the person the solution you're solving is really your brand, is that person. Not everyone will do it. They're not willing to do it. They're afraid to do it. You start doing videos and you start inviting them to your blog or inviting them to your fan page. I tell you, you have a solution, right? Whatever it is. The one guy that I work with, he's with ViSalus, and he just recently got put in a Success magazine because he got so clear as to what solution he was solving. And that was he needed to be healthier for his family. But he had all these things before it that took place. We shared that story. And then he started doing a video series every single day about how he was going to get healthy and be with his family and be able to. So it was healthiness was his ViSalus. That was his product line. But his ultimate solution was being with his family more. And so that was his video series was about. His brand got so clear. And that's why we got to right now. We all have to get that video, that story video done and out so you can start looking at it. You listen to it again and find those high points and go back through it. And then then you start to identify all the parts of your story that people really want to connect with. And then these become more of your video series, and your brand will start getting defined. Your brand probably is not going to really get defined till the end of this class because it will change. A lot of people go, well, I think I want to focus on, for instance, Steph, I want to focus on, families that have a child that needs, assistance really need to be there. But it's really not ideally what you want to be. You want to be that person that's the solution that has been able to be with their child, but still create the financial and the life freedoms that you've got. See, that's the kind of stuff. That's when the brand comes out. The solution is your brand, right? My brand is the Unstoppable Family. A family is totally unstoppable that can travel the world, do whatever the heck they want. And I got a solution for it. You don't have to travel like we do, but you might want to. Or you can stay at home. But the fact is, we found that solution. So your brand becomes now that problem you're solving for someone else. Are you guys with me on this? You guys super following here? Yeah? Yeah. Right on. Okay. Anyone, because we've got 15 minutes left. and I want to make sure I cover some stuff for you guys for week 2. But I always want to make sure that anyone that wants to get out here gets out here, right? And we do some face to face work because that's where it works. This is when it works. Okay, and you guys will everyone will all have your time for sure. Okay, yeah, for sure. You guys are muted, Suzanne. Sorry about that, Chris and Suzanne. Hey, Chris, come on out. What's up, you guys?
Hey, Rhonda, how are you?
Awesome.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Oh.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Okay, there you
now
go.
we can.
Hey, well, we shot ours this morning, and one of the things when I went back and I was watching it, I took and I found it really hard to actually watch myself in the video. I guess I'm kind of like Brian was. I have a tough time getting in front of the camera, whereas Suzanne is nice and it's just natural for her. And as I was watching a lot of the video I found myself cutting out half of it and just going, I wouldn't sit and listen to me.
Do more.
Keep going.
So, Suzanne, that means you have to make Chris do a video a day.
I'm trying.
Well, that's the problem. You're trying. You got to doing. It's got to be doing.
What is it? I think Dave Wood says, he goes, your first 50 videos are just they're going to suck.
They might suck. They might. And that's okay. You guys can totally suck at it. And you might suck for a long time. So let Suzanne maybe be your primary video person, which I was for years, and let you be the side guy. Right? You don't have to be the guy. You know what I mean? Like especially when you're a partnership and you're a couple and you're running a business like that. I mean, Brian, a lot of times when we're doing videos together, I just talk. So I kind of take over anyways. So he likes it, but when he's doing his own, because he's finally gotten his own groove and he rocks his videos, but he did not rock them for a long time. So that's okay. That there's certain things that come up, but you got to get yourself doing it. And sometimes it's totally uncomfortable. But the more you do them, the better it will become. And the good part about this, Chris, is sometimes the people that are the least connected and really feel good about doing video are the ones that people like the most because you're real. Because guess what? 90% of people are like you. They're afraid to do a video, or not afraid, but they're just uncomfortable. Do you know what people like that?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, it looks like George said that Chris did awesome on Monday. So, Brian. George said Brian did awesome on Monday, right? That dude now he can rock it out. But it's been 8.5 years. But it's okay because people have watched Brian's videos, and even though he stumbled and he twisted his tongue, or they don't know that he shot 30 different shots before one came out. You guys don't know that because even still, how many, Brian, usually?
It can get up to the 20 mark.
Yeah, did you hear that? He still will do 20 cuts for a 3-minute video. Still, I can't be with him anymore because he makes me crazy.
I don't let her be with me.
But see, you get that? So it's okay. It's just who we are. I'm a one-shot girl. I've never usually done 2 shots. That's just my style. So it's okay. But if you guys do your story video together, do it together then. And share the responsibility. Yeah? You guys good? You guys got muted, I think. Oh, that's what happened. You guys did get muted. How'd that happen? Here. There you guys are. You guys talking? You guys got muted for some reason.
You mute us all the time.
I don't know what goes on.
No, we're good. I am trying to get in. If that was part of one of our big things today, was actually getting me in front of the camera. When we're out and about. We shot one the other day at the beach, and it was a lot easier just because it was more candid. But then when I started talking about me and I think it was Stephanie or somebody earlier talking about my story, I started going big time in my head, trying to figure out what was key, what was not key, what mattered, what didn't matter. We look at our story, and you take parts of Dave Wood, Dave Sharp, you guys, Justin and Dee, and we're sitting here going, we're a piece of every one of those in our stories, and it's like, what's relevant?
It's all relevant. That's the thing. That's why, remember, do your video, just puke it out, flat out, get it out there, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, right? And then watch it.
It was 10 minutes.
Okay.
It was 10 minutes. We did it, and it's both of us.
Well, that's good. Do this. Go back now. This is the part, guys, that gets, you go back and you listen, and you take your little notepad. And I do this. I know how to do it now mentally because I've been doing it for so long, but I still will go back and I listen to every video I do. I'm like, ooh, good point. Ooh, bad, not needed. Now redo it. But but when you get good at it, you start understanding the points that are high points that people deserve to hear, because those are the problems they have, and you solved it. Bam, 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 right? You got to make sure that, and I'm not even talking about content structure right now, guys, because there's a really simple way to structure your content. Now we'll get to that. Right now, it's about you getting your story, looking at it, finding the high points, and reshooting it and making sure you go back. You're under 5 minutes, and 3 is ideal, but 5 minutes for a story video is appropriate. And then we're going to put it up we're going to get it up. We're going to make it a post. We're going to share it. You're going to put it on Facebook. You're going to put it on your blog. You're going to start getting people to want and start following you. And every day, now by the time you leave, next week, video series starts. It's going to be a Monday through Friday. You guys are going to you're going to take an area in your story, and it's going to be Monday through Friday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to do a video series every day for the next 4 weeks. And you will be blown away. The list you'll get, the people you'll follow, they'll start following you, and ideally in the sales that you'll make in your business, because you're doing something that's on point, and you created an idea that somebody liked that you had, your story, and they start following it. And it's you'll start craving it. You guys good on that? Yeah, puke it out. Yeah, George is like, you just gotta puke it out. Yeah, puke it out. That's what you gotta do. You gotta get it out there and freak out. Don't stop yourself. Just say it, and then go, okay, now I could have done this better. Let's focus here, and you'll get better. Okay. All right, you guys, did you guys get muted again? Like what? No, you guys are good. Okay. All right, so let's, okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the slides here just to make sure this last couple minutes the way we close. I want to make sure you guys are getting this, because now week 2 is going to start getting fun, and you guys are going to continue on with your videos, but we're going to do some more defining, right? You're going to start creating your video series next week. And we really want to focus on a couple areas. So now we're doing our story, but I want to close here because I want you guys to start getting this. What do you want to be known for? Okay, because for like a lot of times people come here and it's going to be your personal brand, you. Okay, but some things start to change. You start getting maybe a better skill, and maybe you become more of a marketing teacher or a coach or someone that is able to really share a uniqueness about you that you want to focus on. Now, a lot of times it starts off with just our personal brand, where we are right now, and that's great. And you can stay there for a long time. I stayed there for a long time. It became just someone that was wanting to live an amazing lifestyle. And that's how we started. And then, of course, now I'm known around this whole industry as someone that knows how to brand themselves. So that I started crafting this. This is now a segment of my brand, right? Unstoppable Family is a brand, but now we're Unstoppable Branding. That's part of my brand. So you start thinking in those areas of maybe you might have a really cool just who you are brand, but you might have something so cool and unique that you can actually share and talk about that no one else has heard. And you start creating a customer base that goes, wow, this is neat. Like, Keith, you got something really cool. You've done some cool stuff. And maybe you can share, some of the experiences you've had with never having to ask to go on vacation. That's a powerful uniqueness, right? That no one else has ever had. I didn't have that before. I was in a corporate job. I couldn't talk about never asking to go on vacation. So you can talk about the trials, the tribulations, the wins. I mean, that's powerful stuff. That's unique. Maybe your tagline becomes the guy who's never asked to go on vacation, right? Because that's huge. All right. So, and we already did a lot of these slides, but we want to, when you go back through, especially in week 1, we look at what did our brand look like now, because I want to make sure you guys write it out now, because it's going to change, right? You want to get where you're at this point, and it probably will change by the time we end here, right? And then we focus on, of course, this story video allows us to see that customer. It allows us to really see who is that customer that I'm talking to. See, every video I do, everything I do, I know who I'm talking to. I see them. Because when you can do that, guys, then that's when you really start to connect. Because you say the things that they want to hear, that their problems are. The clearer you get there, the better your brand becomes, the more attractive you become, and the better your video series is become. Okay. And I always look at, if you don't know your customer, then we just look at ourselves, right? We look at what is my demographic, their demographic, what do they do? What problems are you solving for them? If you are having a hard time identifying that, just do this little process here. What do they do? What problems am I solving for them? Because your story then will begin to answer and solve those problems. If you need to identify that first, go through this process. Okay. Now, here's some ideas I'm going to share with you. Some people that we've worked with that change their brand goes from vanilla to powerful. This is Heather. I've worked with her for a couple of years now. She was really vanilla. She was like, the internet is my oyster, and that sounded really fun. But then she became the housewife of success, got so nailed down that only she was talking, because here she was talking to everyone. Those who treasure the freedom to be with family. Well, everyone does, really. Then she became helping stay-at-home moms live their dream. She got so narrowed down. She only talks to, stay-at-home moms that want to work, but then she's got now husbands looking at her going, hey, telling their wives to go look at her and go work with her. So you nail down that exact group, that person that you're talking to, and your brand becomes so laser focused, just like your videos. Everything you do is now your brand, and you're talking to that person. Certainly you're going to get more people. But man, when the more clear you become, and you guys will be super clear by the time you leave, the stronger your brand and your connection to those people will become. Now, it could eventually turn into a product, right? So like I said, mine went from Unstoppable Family to now my Unstoppable Branding Secrets that I do. And it becomes just something that evolves for you. Or some people create their brand becomes a result, right? I've got a lot of friends in this industry, and certainly Matt Lloyd is one of them. And he became this guy couldn't make any money online and all, to now he's flat out how to make 7 figures on the internet. That's what he does. And that's his brand. And that's his strong point. Lisa has been my coach for this last year. And she is all about teaching people how to offer and sell on a teleseminar. And that's what she does. And so you get super focused on the results that you can create for someone, right? And that can become your brand too. So these are just some ideas. You guys you're starting off with more of your personal brand, but I work with artists, right? This woman here, Susan, she's inspiring artists to live their successful lives. It can be really a category. Right now, the way I'm hearing is most of you guys are more of a personal brand. Steph, you could become Gemma, you're with It Works. So yours could be, maybe more targeted on a category, right? I'm thinking yours really can be targeted. You're going to talk to a generic, more of an open crowd that maybe doesn't have to be focused on a category. So these are some options you want to really, really, look at them. Or of course, a person, right? This is Dagan Smith. He's in this industry. He created this brand because it was just all about him, right? And this is a guy that we've worked with, Adam here. He really started targeting just his whole family lifestyle, but it was all about the heart of their freedom and their family, and that's kind of how you start to look at how you want to be seen, and you start visualizing. That's how your brand starts to really become clear. It can become a feeling, right? This is a girl I've worked with too. She now has her own She does her own classes, live classes she does about how to feel good today. She's written a book. I mean, it's just sometimes it can be a feeling that starts with. And then you guys will evolve, because by the time you leave here, you guys are going to have a whole ebook outlined and ready to roll. And if you don't know how to write it yourself, I have a writer that can help you guys get an ebook done. And ebooks are so simple and they're so good for you to really get, because it's a giveaway. You're able to give away something to someone that wants to know more about you. But when you give them something, they really become more connected to you as well. All right, so cool, guys. So this is what we're going to do. Now, this week 1, you're going to focus on you're going to finish story. The video series, we're not going to start video series until next week for you guys. Every one of you guys has to have your story video shot, rewatched, analyzed, circled, right? Create circles and post it up on the Unstoppable Branding Experience fan page. So you have to upload it to YouTube. The best thing to do is to put it on YouTube and just share the link. And then once it's nailed down, you'll upload it directly to either a fan page or a personal page. And we're going to keep rocking from there. And you're going to start doing week 2's work. Okay. So your week 2 work, you'll start focusing there. And just start really digging in, you guys. I'm really excited. You guys, this is going to be super fun. The next 3 weeks, so much is going to happen for you guys. I really am excited about it. So, all right, before I go, we're heading out now. We're going to go ahead and meet all the leadership here at the event that I'm at. But before I go, is there any specific questions you guys have? If not, I want you guys to be unstoppable and go make it happen. You guys are awesome. Yeah, anyone? Unmute yourself and jump on out if you feel. You guys good? All right. Rock and roll. You guys are awesome. The recording, I'll transcode the recording tonight. It'll be resent out. Usually takes a couple hours because GoToWebinar takes a long time to transcode. I'll send you guys out the recording and through email. And guys, let's keep rocking it. Let's make things happen. Share, be connected on on the fan page, Unstoppable Branding. Be connected there. Share your videos there, and you guys will all contribute and look at each other's videos and give some feedback. All right, guys, have a great night. Be unstoppable.